Hi everyone. So in your last class, we have studied about different types of systems. So on the previous classes also, we have studied about not only the different types of systems, but different types of signals, how the signals are behaving with respect to that of the time, what are the different types of signal, what are the different types of system. Now in somewhere, whenever we are defining that different types of system, one logic is that whenever a system is defined by a continuous system or it is a discrete system. For a continuous system, the input signal is continuous time signal, output signal is continuous time signal. But whenever a discrete system is being defined, for that discrete system, the input is a discrete signal. But naturally, we don't have that discrete type of system signals are available. So what is the process? How to get that discrete time system? Certainly the process is that we have to convert that analog signal into a discrete signal. We have to convert that continuous signal into a discrete one so that it can be applied for discrete type of system. So how that can be allowed? How we can convert that continuous time signal into a discrete time signal? Our topic is today for this lecture is that, and that process is nothing but sampling. So we'll start about the concept of sampling. Sampling, why sampling? And what is sampling? The sampling is nothing but defined as a process to convert a discrete time, continuous time signal into a discrete one. So why we are applying that sampling process? The logic is that the signals we use in this real world, we have already done that one. The signals we use in that of the real world, such as our voices and everything, whatever we are comes to natural, whatever the natural signals are coming to us is always an analog signal. That is continuous time signal. But whenever we want to process that signal into a computers like a discrete system, do we need to convert that signal into a digital form or discrete form? As we have told it earlier that whenever we are trying to convert, we are trying to manage one discrete system, the input signal is a discrete time signal. Naturally we can't get discrete time system. Naturally we have that concept of analog signal or continuous time signal. So we have to make some conversion technique so that that analog signal or continuous time signal can be converted to a discrete one, so that that can be applied to any type of discrete system. Here for that discrete system, here is an example of computers. So somewhere whenever we are defining one analog signal, what is analog signal? Analog signal is nothing but continuous in both the ways, time as well as amplitude. And what is digital signal? That is discrete in both the ways, time and amplitude. So somewhere why this sampling is being needed? Sampling is nothing but we have to convert that continuous time signal into a discrete one. The process of that conversion, the technique that we used for this conversion of a continuous time signal to a discrete one, to a discrete time signal, so that that discrete time signal can be applied on any type of discrete system such as computer, is known as sampling. That's why sampling is needed in our day-to-day life. The value of signal is being measured at a certain intervals in time. Whenever a continuous time signal is there, how sampling is being done on that of the signal so that we can gather the discrete information from that of the signals. That means we have to discretize that signal. We have to break up that signal. We have to split that signal in a certain interval. That interval is normally known as the sampling interval, so that the signal becomes a discrete time signal. And whenever we are gathering any information about that of the signal in a particular instant of time, that information is nothing but defined as a sample. Each measurement is referred to as a sample of that discrete system. So in that way, sampling is being needed very much in our day-to-day life to convert that analog signal or discrete continuous signal into a discrete one. That is the representation of sampling, signal sampling. In the first picture, in the first waveform, we have a continuous time signal is being represented by x of t. Continuous signal means it is not only continuous in time but as well as continuous in amplitude also. Continuous means for each and every instant of time is being present there. Any value of time, whatever the ranges of time is there, within that range, any value of time is possible here. And for each and every instant of time, we can get the signal information on that particular time. That is known as a continuous time signal. Signal time is being continuous. That means extra for entire range of that of the free signal, time is continuous. Means the time range can be divided into infinite number of levels, sir. But whenever that signal is being converted to a discrete time system, that is basically done by the use of sampling, the signal look like this one. In that way, it can be discretized. That means for some discrete instant of time, signal has that particular information. Other than those times, other than those values of that of the time, signal cannot be defined. The signal information cannot be gettable. Only those time at t equals to t1, at t equals to t2, we are getting that portion of that of the signal. We are getting the amplitude for that particular signal. For the time, we don't have any idea about that of the signal. That's why this signal, after converting that continuous time signal into a discrete one, this signal is known as a sampled signal, because we are using the process of sampling to convert that continuous time signal into a discrete time. After doing the process of sampling, whatever the signal is being done, the signal we are converting is known as a sampled signal. That's why it is defined as x of st. S means the sampled signal. So after that sampling, we have a process of sampling. How the process of sampling is being done, how that conversion is being take place. Sampling can be done for functions varying in space, time, or any other dimension, and similar results are obtained in 2 or more dimensions. Signal can be done for functions. That means certainly sampling is the process that can be applied on any type of signal, and that signal can be varying with respect to some independent parameter like space, frequency, space, other dimensions. And that similar result can be obtained in other dimensions also. So whenever we are converting that signal into a discrete one, the sampling frequency or sampling rate should be maintained. That means whenever we are converting that analog continuous time signal into a discrete time signal, certainly we have to make a certain gap between the samples. That gap is nothing but defined as a sampling interval. That gap is basically defined as a sampling interval. And whenever we are taking the reciprocal of that interval, reciprocal of time means frequency, that particular frequency is known as a sampling frequency or sampling rate. And that is nothing but is the average number of samples obtained in 1 second. In a particular second, what is the average number of samples we are getting? That is nothing but the number of sampling rate or frequency. Thus, we can say that the sampling rate or sampling frequency f of s can be nothing but simply reciprocal of that of the sampling interval, that is 1 by t. So, fs can be written as 1 by t, where t defines the sampling interval of that kind for that conversion. Now, what are the sampling types? The first type of sampling is known as instantaneous sampling. Instantaneous sampling means whenever you have a process of sampling is being defined, whenever you are converting that signal, instantly for each and every instant of time, the signal is being sampled. That means for each and every instant of time, we are getting one particular value of that of the sample. The width of a particular sample is very, very small, infinitely small. The range of that means for a particular instant of time, we are getting the total information about one sample. That is known as a instantaneous sampling of that kind. There are basically 3 types of sampling methods are there. Samplings are there. One is instantaneous sampling, or that is known as ideal sampling, where the sampling interval is defined by a small value, and for a particular sample, duration of sample is not from a time range to another time range. For a particular instant of time, that is the starting and end time of that particular sample. That means at any instant of time, we are getting the value of that particular sample. The width of that particular sample will be tends to 0. Very small. Second one is natural sampling. Now, one more thing about that of the instantaneous sampling, the figure waveform is not being shown here. Instantaneous sampling means that sampling can be defined by simply multiplication How can we generate that instantaneous sampling? This instantaneous sampling can be generated by simply multiplication of a continuous time signal with some impulse train. What is the meaning of impulse train? Impulse function means at a time of t equals to 0, we have a certain impulse or amplitude of 1 is there. For the rest of the time, we don't have any type of amplitudes. But impulse train means for each and every values at t equals to 0, t equals to 1, t equals to 2, t equals to 3, t equals to -1, -2, for each and every instant of time, there is certain impulse. So train of impulses are there. Whenever that particular signal with all amplitudes 1 is being multiplied with that of the continuous time signal, we can get the sampling result as instantaneous sampling. The second type of sampling is nothing but defined as a natural sampling. Natural sampling means we have a continuous time signal, and whenever that signal is being converted to a process of sampling, a discrete time signal, look at the third type of that of the signal. The shape of that top of each and every sample. One more thing, for this kind of natural sampling is a small difference from that of the instantaneous sampling is that for instantaneous sampling, at any instant of time, we are getting the knowledge about that total information about that signal. But for natural sampling or any other type of sampling, a sample exists from a time range t1 to a time range t2. At an instant of time, we can't get the all information about that of the signal. A sample has some width, and the sample ranges from the value of t equals to t1 to t2. So if I want to get the knowledge of that of the information about that sample, we have to take a look about the total range of that of the time from t1 to t2 for that entire sample, and look at the top of each and every sample. The behavior or top of each and every sample is naturally moving according to the slope of that original continuous time signal. It is not varying simply as it is. It is varying simply with the slope of that continuous time signal. That's what is known as natural sampling. Because each and every top of that each and every sample moving naturally, it's the slope of each and every samples is naturally going. That's why it is known as a natural sampling. Here also we can say the natural sampling can also be defined by simply multiplication of that continuous time signal with some impulse train. But here we have to define that the impulse train will be a pulse train, not impulse. Impulse means at any instant of time we are getting some impulse of that of the signal. But here also pulse means for a range of that of the time, total knowledge of that of the information will be there. That means impulse train is there in the second type of waveform, and whenever we are multiplying that second type of waveform with that of the continuous time signal, the output is simply as that of our natural sampling. Nothing is that. Clear? So this is second type of sampling type, natural sampling. In that way, the second type of sampling is there, that is natural sampling. That is being defined by natural type of sampling. Now move to your third type or last type of sampling, that is known as flat top sampling. The name flat top sampling, name itself defines the reason why it is called flat top sampling. What is the definition of flat top sampling? Name itself defined as. Normally our continuous time signal is defined by, in that of the figure, in a continuous time signal is defined by x of t, and whenever that continuous time signal is being converted to a natural flat top sampling, we are simply follow the same rule as being used by this natural sampling method. A sampling continuous time signal is there, is being multiplied with that of the impulse train, and at the output we are getting the natural sampling. But in this type of flat top sampling, what is the difference between this type of signal and that type of signal, that type of sampling is that here just look at the top of each and every sample. For natural sampling, the top of that output discrete time signal moves naturally according to the shape of that input signal, continuous time signal. But here we just look at the top of each and every samples at the output for a discrete time signal. The top is always flat with respect to that of the input. Top is flat always. That's why it is known as flat top sampling. That means top is flat means for the entire section of that particular sample. For a particular sample, let us suppose it moves from the value of T1 to T2. And whenever we are gathering the information about that of the signal from the entire range from T1 to T2 for the entire range of that of the sampling period, the amplitude remains constant. It's simply holding its amplitude. That means throughout the level of that of the sample for the sampling interval for that particular sampling time for which duration the sample exists, the amplitude of that duration, the amplitude of that of the sample is remain constant throughout, and that is known as a flat top sampling. So in that way we can define there are three types of sampling: instantaneous sampling, where the sampling interval is there is no space in between sample, or for a particular instant of time we are getting the gathering the information of that of the signal. In the second type of sampling is natural sampling, where the sampling is being defined for a particular range of that of the time. The width of the sample is not very small. It is a few value from time range of T1 to T2, and the top of each and every sample are naturally moving with respect to that of the continuous time signal. And in the third one, that is the flat top sampling, similar effect of that of the flat top sampling and natural sampling, only in the change in that of the nature of that of the top. For each and every samples, the top of each and every sample, it is flat normally. Amplitude is throughout constant for the entire range of that of the sample. That's why it is known as sampling, flat top sampling. So in that way we can define the three types of sampling. By using this any process of sampling method, we can apply that to any type of naturally coming continuous time signal, and we can get the output as a discrete one. And whenever we are getting that discrete time signal, that signal can be applied to any type of discrete system so as to get our output signal particularly clearly. We have to use this sampling method, otherwise we cannot get that discrete time signal. And if I don't get that discrete time signal, we cannot apply that discrete time signal for a particular type of discrete system. In that way, we can define this type of sampling method. So these are the different types of samplings are there to be used for the conversion of a continuous time signal to a discrete time signal. So in that way, we can define that entire lecture of this today. How it can be defined? Why we are using sampling method to convert that continuous time signal into a discrete time signal. What is the signal representation? Sampling representation means we have to do sampling for conversion of continuous time signal into a discrete one. Why we are taking that process of sampling? Then what are the types of sampling? There are basically three types of sampling: instantaneous sampling, second one is natural sampling, and third one is flat top sampling. In that way, we are closing our introduction of sampling class. Is it okay? Okay. Thank you.